Hello everybody, how are you all doing tonight, traders? It's now January 30th, about 8:30 p.m., and I'd like to talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Today's been a pretty fun day, right everybody? It's been a very profitable day, but also a very risky day. During days like this, I highly recommend that people stay extremely cautious and we look for signs of oversold to play very small bounces, whether we short or go long. If you guys enjoy these videos, I'd really appreciate an upvote on steemit, and make sure you also like, subscribe, and share all the stuff on YouTube and on Twitter as well if you feel that it has helped you and it has improved your game in one way or another. The ultimate goal of my channel, guys, is to literally help you guys improve your game and to pass on knowledge from what I know. And I've been doing this for about 2 years, a little bit over 2 years now, and about 1 year full-time. And for the people that don't know me, I got started by Ethereum, right? I was actually mining Ethereum, and I was heavily involved in the community by helping people get started. And I used to write these massive articles like 2-3 years back, which you guys can probably find me if you Google Philicon in the Ethereum forums there. So anyways, my goal is to help you guys improve your game as well. And what I've been doing a lot lately is responding to pretty much every comment on Twitter and on YouTube as well, because I don't want you guys to feel like you're alone, and I'm just pumping out content. It's not like that at all. I got your guys' back. I'm going to give you genuine advice from a non-financial perspective. So hopefully this can help you improve your game over time as well. And I just want you guys to know that there's a lot of really good people in the community, like Eric Cho, like the Big Ched, like Hyjin, and the ultimate goal is to see people succeed. So it's definitely not for ourselves at all. So I would like to talk about some things right now as well. First of all, I want to talk about the daily chart for Bitcoin here, okay? Now, we're going to talk about RSI. I talk a lot about RSI. I'm a heavy RSI trader. If someone had to ask me what is my absolute favorite indicator without a heartbeat, I would probably tell them RSI is my favorite tool. It's very easy to understand, but very difficult to master. The way we should look at RSI is also the same way we should look at price action in a candlestick, and patterns actually conform to RSI as well. So let's spend a few minutes talking about RSI, okay? So what we see here for RSI, first of all, is this. And if you guys remember me getting extremely excited about this a few days ago. A few days ago, we were seeing something like that, right? And I was talking about how this wants to break out of here. And as soon as we saw this double bottom right there, 1, 2, right? I was drawing it like that. I said to myself, this is a really good time to go long on it. So I think it was on the 23rd or 24th. I went long on many positions. We got up to about 11.5 and we ended up uptrending. So this support... Sorry, Maria, I'm going to call you back. Okay, so I ended up... Sorry, every time she calls me, I get very distracted in a very good way. She always calls me like right in the middle of these videos. It's just my friend from Arizona. So where she is right now, it's like 70 degrees. Where I am right now, it's like minus 30 right now outside. I think it's so cold. So I'm kind of jealous when people live in very, very warm cities. But I like where I'm from in Manitoba, Canada here. So anyways, with RSI, we saw this type of double bottom, right? And now it's that it actually poked out of there and acted as a very good support, right? It acted as a support, but unfortunately, we have to see RSI like this as well, right? We see these points right there, right? This made type of an ascending triangle type of pattern. So it bounced from there, came down, bounced from there, and it came down. It couldn't quite breach the 45 RSI resistance, and that's what it is. We have to treat RSI also as a resistance, right? And what we have to remember is that what was previously a resistance now becomes a support. So we broke out of this triangle, right? And now this is now no longer valid. This is also no longer valid as well. And also this is also no longer valid, right? So the way we see it right now is that the RSI is, hang on one second, I'm just gonna let her know that I'm in a video right now. I'm just gonna quickly message her on Facebook here. Sorry about that. I know that she calls me in some videos. Okay. Anyways, so now that we see it break out of that range right here, we're also seeing it become a support now, right? Right here. So this was previously the resistance, the one coming down, and what we see is now it's acting as a support. So now I'm looking over the next few days, especially, because so what we do, guys, at the beginning of every day when you start trading, okay, you start off looking at the daily chart to get a general vibe of what is going on in the marketplace, especially for Bitcoin. You have to look at Bitcoin. Last year, I didn't really analyze Bitcoin that much. I kept following it very well, and it was always on one of my monitors. But this year, I'm heavily analyzing it, and I'm also trying to see what kind of correlation it has to most coins. And of course, it's correlating to every single coin right now positively from what I see. I don't see any type of negative correlation with the coins that I'm constantly looking at to day trade. And the coins that I look at to day trade are basically these 6 right here. I look, not ICX, this is actually supposed to be NEO. I'm looking at Ethereum Classic, I'm looking at EOS, IOTA, XRP, and on my other monitors, what do I have on there? Let me just pull it up here. On my other monitors, I have, I can't bring it up on the screen. I have Bitcoin Cash, I have Omize Go as well, and I'm also looking at XMR and ELF as well, and maybe Bitcoin Gold, but that's about it here. So we start off on the daily chart, and we look at what is the daily chart doing? What is it telling us? Where are some key resistance areas and support areas that we need to make note of? And right now, we're doing okay, hovering slightly above this RSI, right? So that was a very in-depth RSI look, right? And we have to see RSI as something that's easy to understand, but very difficult to master. And we also have to treat RSI like this. So the way I treat RSI is I treat it as resistances and supports. So we look on the daily, we can clearly see a lot, unfortunately, right? We see tons and tons of resistance right here, which just couldn't break through it, unfortunately. So that's how I see RSI. And just another tip for you guys as well, that usually between this zone right here, okay, between 35 and 60 or 65-ish, that is what Brown's, I forgot his first name, Cadence Brown, his law of RSI, I just know him by last name, by Brown's RSI rule, says that between 35 and 65, that is the neutral zone. Now between very high RSI numbers and about, say, 40 like that, just does not go below 40 ever, okay? That would be a very bullish zone. Now a bearish zone would be very low RSI up to about 60. So what we're noticing is neither a neutral zone nor a bearish zone, nor a, neither a bullish zone nor a bearish zone. We're actually in a neutral zone right now, and we might just start tipping through. So what we need to make note of right now as well is this, okay? Okay, let me just show you guys right here. So yes, we were trending down here, which is also acting as a support, right? This resistance, but we also have to acknowledge this RSI as well, which is what worries me, to be quite honest, okay? So if I were to extend this outwards a little bit like that, and I draw my RSI, perhaps like this, what I'm actually noticing now is a descending triangle on the RSI. So now we have to ask ourselves, is the 40 RSI going to hold? If this RSI doesn't hold right here, the 40 RSI, then unfortunately we're probably going to peak underneath it, and we haven't done so since January 16 here, and we will actually enter a more bearish zone. So now the bulls and the bears are raging this massive war right now around this exact range. Now I want to talk about the daily candle close yesterday, okay? The daily candle close was the highest volume that we have had on bitfinex since January 22nd. Let's go to CoinMarketCap very quickly here. We go to CoinMarketCap, and what we notice about Bitcoin right now is that, well, in the average of the 24-hour volume is roughly right here, okay? It's roughly about $9.1 billion. If we go to the historical data as well, take a look at it, guys. Right, yesterday we finished off at $8.6 billion, which was way more than 29th, right? More than 27. Last time we've had this type of volume was like 3 days ago, and today we're already at $9.1 billion in average, right? So hopefully we'll pick off around 9.5, I'm guessing, but I'm gonna make a really crazy, like an important correlation, okay? First of all, this volume was clearly more volume than the previous few days, right? And this is a downtrend volume. Because it was a downtrend volume, it implies that lots of people are actually selling off their Bitcoin or maybe entering short positions. And the people who have been asking me, how do you check Bitcoin longs? How do you check bitfinex, Bitcoin longs and shorts? Go to your trading view, type in Bitcoin, BTC, scroll down to Bitcoin USD shorts and USD longs. That's where you see it. So let's go check out the short positions. The short positions have actually increased for the day, okay? They have increased for the day and they have not come down. So over the past few hours, the short positions are actually ramping up. Many people are loading into short positions. So you know how when people buy, okay, just as an example, okay, when people buy on Bitfinex, if you place a short position there, right, and let's say the person buys, so okay, you know, I'm gonna go to my Bitfinex really quickly here, and I'm actually just gonna show you guys. Let me just close my balance and stuff here as well. Okay, alrighty. So just as an example, I'm gonna go to Bitcoin here, and I want to explain to you guys the mechanics behind longs and short. So if I were to enter a short position for, say, I don't know, 0.1 Bitcoin or something, I'll just put it like at a high number so I don't actually enter a position here, like, I don't know, 10,500 for example. If I actually decide to put a limit order up right here for 10,500, if somebody decides to fill my short position at 10,500, two things happen. One, the short table right here will go up, okay? My short positions will go up, right? That makes sense. And also on the long table, the long will also go up as well, because you're simultaneously filling a long position, filling a short position of someone, and you are also simultaneously buying Bitcoin to go long, so they will proportionally go up. The only time, guys, that this Bitcoin table right here for the shorts will go down is when people are in a short position, okay? They're in a short position and they basically close their short positions to buy, okay? Or they place a buy order, right? Limit order, and then someone fills it. So when that happens, that is when the short positions will actually decrease. Now, how do you, and then let's take a look at this as well on the BTC long now. So if we look at the BTC long table, guys, it's very oversold, right? We can say it's very oversold right now. So what we can expect right now is one of two things. Either we will get a bounce on the Bitcoin longs and it will actually end up going up a little bit, or we're just gonna tank and just go extremely low, like how we have gone a few times before, right? Look at the BTC longs, how they have just gone down the window like around December 30th. That's when the big tank happened, right? So we have to keep very mindful of this as well, of the Bitcoin short and long tables, and I keep track of it extremely diligently because I need to know what is going on with Bitcoin. What we will notice on the 2-hour chart for Bitcoin right here is that we are starting to level off on a 2-hour chart, sort of, okay? Starting to really level off. We are in extremely oversold territories right now, if you guys have noticed already. But the reason why we are not uptrending yet, guys, is because there's literally no volume whatsoever, okay? This is decent candle, but it's very bearish with volume. Now this candle right here, it's only been about an hour in, but it does kind of look like an inverted hammer slash doji right now, okay? Everybody thought that this was going to hold, but the bears said no, we're still going to go down. So according to the indicators right now, we are still in a very bearish market. It's very oversold. Look how low we are on the 2-hour. On the 4-hour, would not be surprised if we just ended up going completely down. So you guys have to be very aware of this as well, that the volume, look at here, the volume went up, it went up, right? Sorry, the candles went up for price action, but the volume did not go up. And look what happened right after. We got a major rejection right at the 55 EMA. So this 55 EMA is causing a lot of contention right now. So what I am waiting for is for it to level off before I enter some of my swing positions. So right here, it looks like it might even want to level off a little bit very soon. So let me go over some specific targets that I plan to use. Actually, hang on a second. I'll be right back. I got to get into some positions right now. You know what? I was going to buy more EOS. I have EOS from $10.50 still. and I bought quite a bit. I only sold like 100 or something, but yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it right now. Today's been a pretty decent day. I cannot complain, and I hope you guys have been very cautious yourselves as well. So if we draw a resistance line like that, right, we can clearly see that. Oh, by the way, TradingView updated. If you guys didn't know that, they changed up these toolbars there. They changed up here that you can't hide anymore, etc. I just thought I'd bring that up quickly. So what we notice right here is these particular zones, right? That's obviously a very particular zone right there. So I labeled on my charts there for my other updates that this is a possible bounce zone, right? 10K, very psychological number. Now the next part is right down there at around $9,200. So I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting to see one of two things. Is the volume gonna pick up, right? Will we get some decent crossover on like a 2-hour chart? Or actually 1 hour, it's going to be my trigger chart, because this one looks like it's going to round off the earliest, right? And we're also seeing slight signs of bullish divergence already. So I'm going to be looking for, when is the histogram going to get to the positive? When it gets to the positive, that's also when it means it most likely will cross over to the 55 EMA. So as a day trader, my goal is to, well, two things can happen basically, okay? Really, two things can really happen. Three things, we'll say, okay? It can bounce right around this 10K range because it's a very psychological number. So it would be very logical for us to enter a position to try to shoot for something like up there, I'd say. My first target will most likely be right around this zone, right? This zone right here that acted as a major resistance that broke out. So this whole area right here, lots of price action. And the most relevant one previous to that is right around the 10,900, 11,000 range. So if we get a bounce here, right, it's going to be a nice bounce for a possible 9% gain where we go back up to 11,000. And of course, if we break this region here, we could possibly trend a little bit higher to the resistance trend line maybe. So this is always a possibility as well. So now another possibility, of course, is we just trend sideways along here for a little bit. So if the volume doesn't pick up and it doesn't start shooting up, then we might enter a bear market again and we just end up staying there. So my possible plays is to short or to go long. So my short position will most likely be, say, from about 10,000. If we don't hold, stop losses around 10,200, we'll say. 10,200, and I will basically shoot for about $9,400. So this one has a risk to reward ratio of 6.18. I wanted to go over BTC long, by the way. BTC long, I didn't even show you guys that, okay? So right now, the BTC longs, like for example here, is only 25,000 Bitcoin versus the BTC shorts right now, which is at 24,000. So right now, this is a massive battle between the bulls and the bears, guys. I kid you not that this is one of the most epic battles that I have ever seen for Bitcoin right now. So I'm extremely excited to see how this is going to play out. The only way to trade this, guys, I kid you not, you guys are not going to see some massive long-term projections right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is simply too volatile of a coin. You guys know why it's so volatile? It's because the market is very immature right now. It's a very brand new market, okay? I'm sure that in a few years, when and if Bitcoin does stick around, we're going to see a lot less volatility. We'll see volatility in the market still with newer coins, but probably not with Bitcoin nearly as much. Once the market figures out, and Wall Street and investment banks, etc., figure out, hey, what's going to be a good, reasonable price for this? And we're not going to see steady volatility or steady prices for a very long, we're talking years, guys. So don't even think for a moment that we're going to have any stability right now. So what we see on a 4-hour chart, guys, is actually a really nice candle that's going to form in about 1 hour. So what we see, first of all, is some massive rejection, right? Take a look at this right here. We first of all see this dragonfly doji, huge. People thought it was going to support with the candle, right? This one here, the bulls tried to push up, the bears pushed it back down. Now this one right here, the bulls won. The bears have pushed it all the way down, and now the bears have pushed it back up. or sorry, the bears have pushed it down and then the bulls have pushed it up. So if this candle finishes with also a dragonfly doji, then it's going to be a very good sign. And what would be a very good close? The close would be right over here. Look at the high, okay? Or look at the open. The open is right there, is 1,171, right? So that would be a really, really good candle right now. See, we're actually green already. So I'm going to wait about 1 hour. If this candle closes successfully with the volume that I'm looking for, which is actually starting to get right now, which is awesome, right? Starting to look pretty good with the volume. We just got to get over $1,171. Hang on 1 second. I just got a short ripple. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. I can't really pause all the time sometimes. So wow, there's a massive spread right now on Ripple. It's crazy, the spread right now. I've not seen anything like that in a long time. We're talking like about a half of a cent spread. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry about that. I'm just incredibly busy today in general, so I'm just trying to multitask while I'm at it there. So I apologize for taking up your time there. Anyways, I'm going to be waiting for this coin right here to level off. Or sorry, not this coin, this candle right here to level off. I would really, really, really like it to be a dragonfly doji that's green. Notice how they're fighting back and forth, and we've got an hour to go. So it's actually looking really good right now already. And I do think that we're going to end up bouncing off of this particular area. When this candle actually forms right here, guys, you can count on me going into a fairly long position here for not even a swing trade, like a day trade position for maybe an 8 to 10% gain here. So I'm going to be extremely happy with that. So the things to watch out for right now as we are speaking is to see if this is going to level off with a dragonfly doji. If it is, right, we've got two massive dragonfly dojis with some massive rejections right here as well, which can also be a really, really good sign for it leveling off perhaps. So just make sure you guys are watching this very carefully, this candle. Now some targets would probably be around 11,000 range right there, maybe slightly lower. And if this candle ends up becoming very bearish still within 1 hour, then most likely it will sideways trend or break right down to the 9,200 range, which we haven't seen in a long time. So what we can firmly say right now is that Bitcoin is getting a lot of support around the 10K range, and a lot of buyers are rushing in to fill the void during these concise moments, or these critical moments rather. So these are my quick thoughts for Bitcoin right now. I do believe that we might bounce off of there once again, and if we do bounce off of there, we might get to one of these regions within this trend line right there. And who knows, guys, we got to play by play, right? But this does look like a descending triangle right now as we speak. And if it is a descending triangle, it might make one more rally up there. And then on the third time it tries to break it, unfortunately, if it does try to break it a third time, then it will most likely go down. You have to think of a triangle like this, okay? If it is an ascending triangle, generally, I'm just gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for simplicity. So I apologize for my Elliott wave annotation. So I'm just gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or sorry, it goes something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then on the fifth attempt, right, on the last attempt, it breaks out of it like that. And the inverse also applies as well, like the opposite of it, right, on a downtrend. So it makes one break attempt there, second break attempt there, and then because we're getting a series of lower highs, and on the third attempt, then very well something could unfortunately happen, right? So we will wait to see in a few days, and I will be sure to give you guys tons and tons and tons and tons of updates as we play. I've been doing about 2-3 Bitcoin updates per day because I think it's very important for all of us to familiarize ourselves with our day trading positions if we are day trading, right? So my Bitcoin analysis is not really geared towards swing traders right now, because unfortunately there's no swing positions available for us that can hold long term. So they are 100% geared towards short-term traders that like to hunt for volatility like me. So other than that, guys, have yourselves a fantastic night, traders. I hope that you guys have found this information helpful. I would really appreciate an upvote on steemit, and also make sure you like, subscribe, and share all this stuff on YouTube and on Twitter as well. Have yourselves a great night, traders, and please remain cautious. Bye now.